When I write about emotional waste in the workplace and the sources of drama, lack of accountability is definitely a key source of drama. Our current approaches to accountability aren't going to get us there. So I really help people understand the definition of accountability, the factors of accountability, and most importantly, how to develop accountability. Accountability, I would describe it as a mindset, not really a skill set. It's a mindset that you can have impact over your outcomes. So it's completely opposite from that mindset that I'm at the mercy of my circumstances. It's about knowing, not just believing, that regardless of your circumstances, there's always space that you can have impact or that you can influence outcomes. Most leaders really have latched onto this idea that to get my people to be accountable, I've got to hold them accountable and almost force it or be powerful and make sure that I'm keeping them on the path. And it's a lot of effort and it's a lot of power plays, and it's a sure way to engage the ego and ignite the ego. And when I teach leaders about being accountable, I try and teach in ways that they don't even engage the ego, that they bypass it. And the best way to get people into accountability is to get them into self-reflection. When I studied high accountables, I was really surprised to find out that feedback wasn't all that useful to them. And yet we teach leaders how to give feedback in 8-hour classes. That is the main role of a leader, is give feedback, give feedback, give feedback. And when I talked to high accountables, they said that's not very useful. And it was surprising to me. And what they shared with me is that feedback is useful when it's really short. But the most important thing a leader can do to get people into a state of high accountability is foster self-reflection. And so it's feedback short, self-reflection long. And as a leader, what I would have you do if you wanted to get somebody into self-reflection is either give them an assignment, take a day to think about this and come back with 3 ways that you could have, interacted differently with that group to get different results, or giving them a question in the moment. For instance, what would great look like, or what do you know for sure? This works so well because the ego actually can't vent and self-reflect at the same time. They're mutually exclusive. So if someone's venting, our temptation as a leader is to be there for them and let them vent. But venting just keeps them away from self-reflection. And self-reflection is the first step in accountability, and accountability is what kills the ego. So as a leader, instead of letting people vent, and then instead of giving them feedback and then trying to hold them accountable, those are 3 ways you're just going to fuel the ego. I help people understand that venting isn't all that necessary. And if somebody is venting, the most kind thing you can do for them is to ask them a question, so they have to move out of venting and into self-reflection. And then the whole world opens up, because with a single question and some self-reflection, people find literally hundreds of things they could do to impact their results and get different outcomes.